Today, Boss Mode, Finance for Founders. We're talking about sales channel today and which sales channel is wasting your time and money. And we are going to figure out how to use our accounts to actually do this. And for everyone here who's on the call, there's a lot of relevant channels that you're considering right now. Wouldn't it be nice if you had the accounting that you're already doing actually help you solve these questions? Now, the thing about sales channels is which channel do you want to focus on? And you would think that you could try lots of different ones. They're all kind of about the same. And when you run the numbers, that's not the case. Usually one sales channel is 10 times better than the next best one. So I'll give an example for Kuzana. We try to find entrepreneurs on LinkedIn from referral, from friends, from investors, from other accelerators, social media like Facebook, Google search, conferences. So there's 8 or maybe 10 different channels we've tried to find entrepreneurs, and yet 9 out of 10 have come through LinkedIn. And so you can see that one channel is 10 times better than the next one. I'll give you another example. Do you remember Dropbox? Probably people got those referral things like, hey, sign up for my Dropbox, and then you'll get, I don't know, a gigabyte free, and I'll get a gigabyte free, and blah, blah, blah. That was their sales channel. So they tried lots of different sales channels. They tried doing sales where they went door to door to different offices. They tried Google search. They tried ads. And the only thing that worked was that referral mechanism. That's what worked for them, where they got 10 times more sales there than anywhere else. So I'll just turn it over to people here and get your thoughts and feedback. Think about which companies you've worked with and which sales channel worked best for you previously. I don't know, Wellington, can you tell us about a previous place you worked and which sales channel worked best?
So I work for a company called Quick Basket, and their focus was on Horeca, supplying vegetables to Horeca. And the best sales channel for them was direct sales. That is one of the actually had the highest ROI in terms of conversions. Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. Cool. So they probably tried lots of different things. I can say, for sure for Bell Feeds, I know they've tried lots of different channels. They tried using aggregates, lost a lot of money there. I hope it's not too soon to talk about that, but that money is now laid to rest, or we won't see it again, unfortunately. But another sales channel was social media, surprisingly. But now they're looking at a new channel, which is somewhere between an aggregate where they actually own the depot themselves rather than working with a third party. So the question is, which one of those is the better sales channel, social media or the depot? Cool. Anyone else want to have a sales channel where they were surprised that one channel worked way better than another one?
Yeah, maybe I can talk about the microfinance. And surprisingly, microfinances have such a bad rap. People just say, don't go there. Those people are loan sharks. They will just finish you. They have just predatory lending. And the reputation out here when you say you work for microfinance, guys are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But the one that I was at, because of customer experience excellence, our biggest source of customers was word of mouth. Customers bringing other customers, say, come, these people will help you. Come, they will sort out your financial needs. It even surprised us ourselves that despite what's going on in the environment, like over 80% of the customers came from referrals. Right. So word of mouth. So we really capitalized on that. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, word of mouth can be a very powerful one. All right. So now we're going to jump into a quick Kahoot. This one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to look at these sales channels is margins, payment terms, and the inventory required for each of them, then the quality of the relationship. So you compare social media versus Carrefour. Do you know the phone number of the person who buys from you in Carrefour? No, right? So that is a different quality of a relationship than someone you actually have the phone number for. There could be other things there. And then their audience, are they online, are they offline? I saw people talking about other things they consider as well. Okay, so what I want us to do today, we're going to try something a little different so you can see my screen at the same time you see your own screen. So we'll take about 2 minutes to get this set up. You can see how I've set this up here with 2 different screens. Let me share my entire screen, and then you can see how I do this. This is going to make it a lot easier for you. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do is, first of all, you need your, you can see my screen is perfect. You're going to need a document which is the template. George already has set up the template. The rest of you will have to go here to create your, I'm calling the boss mode template. You'll see while I'm here, I'll just show you all the details of these classes. The previous classes are here, week 1, week 2, so you can review them. We do have the Kahoots for the previous one, so you can test yourself and you can see the presentations. All right, this is kuzana.co/class. And I'm going to put in the chat here this Google Sheet. So you'll click on this and you'll open it and you'll make a copy for yourself. So you put in your email and your company and create my sheet. It'll take about 10 seconds to pop up. If anyone has trouble reaching this site, just let me know.
Hey, Kyle.
Yes.
For the ones from the same company, if they're putting the company name, can they hyphenate and also put their names
Good
so that
idea.
they can differentiate?
Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Yep. Great. So now that you got them side by side, I'm going to take an example company. And this is a company that's going to be on social media and they're in NIBOS. And this is the boss mode, a boss view. And next to it is channel comparison. So what we're going to do at the end of the day is we're going to have a comparison for these 2 different channels, social media and for NIBOS. And so the first thing you'll do is you'll have to change the social media one to be whatever you want it to be. What are we going to say? This will be Facebook. Any of these cells in white, then you can re-edit. The other one, NIBOS. Sure, NIBOS, we could say Carrefour. And then put in the amount that you sold in October through that channel. If you had some other revenue, you can put that in as well. So that's to give you total revenue. So hopefully people can see my screen side by side with their own screen now. All right. And then what's the cost of goods sold for each of these channels? You can see here for Facebook, I don't know, it's about 67% is going to cost of goods sold. Carrefour, we're spending a bit more. Why? Because Carrefour is taking some margin actually. So now type in the costs you have. What you may do is you may go to your Zoho and pull the number from there, or you can make an estimate for now about what you did in October. Great. Any questions so far? So then you'll add, what's the gross profit then will be added up between those channels. So see the gross profit. Let's see the question here. Kwasu, yes.
Kyle, can we start off the top again? I was having problems opening the document.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking. So yeah, just if you see my screen, the first thing is you'll put the different revenue channels you have. So I'm saying here, Facebook and Carrefour. In your case, it might be Mara and Nairobi.
Okay.
And then you'll put the revenue you had associated with each of those channels in October. So I'm saying here, we made 600K in Facebook and 600 in Carrefour. Okay, and then you put in your cost of goods sold for each of those channels. You may have to estimate it. It might be in your accounts. Often your accounts are not broken down by channel exactly, so you might have to estimate for now. And the next one is what's the gross profit? Should automatically calculate here, which your gross profit is. So just Carol and Felicity, if you can check in on the books for the different ones and then
Okay.
suggest comments on where someone might be stuck. And the next thing is you'll add in the marketing you're spending on each of those channels. So Facebook, we're spending 30,000 shillings a month in ads. You might say at Carrefour, where there's no real marketing, but we do need a merchandiser who's going to go around and make sure all the shelves are set up properly.
Just repeat that, Kyle, again.
So you have marketing, you put down the marketing for each of the channels. Now the channel for the what we have Carrefour is you're going to need a merchandiser probably for that, which is going to go around and arrange and make sure the product is properly placed on the shelf.
When it comes to the marketing costs, I've seen like we're including marketing, we're including ads and your marketing person's salary.
If you
Is that
can,
Yeah.
if you can, yeah, include that.
Okay, and also the commissions they get paid for each sale.
Could be. It could be. This becomes the art of finance, whereas accounting is very strict. As a finance person, you have to figure out what makes sense for your business. What do you think makes sense for you, Dixon? Do you want to include the commissions in there?
No, maybe just the salary. I'm just thinking.
Commissions are often put under cost of goods sold. because it's
Okay.
a direct cost, so you might have already been accounted for. Then as you can see here, this is from last week, we covered about taking loans. So you'll have a bunch of different items filled out. The important one to fill out today is make sure your inventory is filled out. So I'm just going to bold this one. Figure out what your inventory is. Okay. Now we're getting to the fun part. You should see total gross margin and the gross margin for each of the channels. Facebook, our margin is a bit higher. The next thing is you're going to look at the marketing return on investment. You can see here that the return is actually a bit higher as well. So we're getting about 6x versus 4. And the significance of this is that this is how much profit you're getting back based on the marketing you're doing. If you're doing less than 2, you should stop marketing. If it's 4, that's great. And if it's 10, that's amazing. So Carrefour seems very viable in this case, but Facebook is even more so. So it might shift how much we spend on the different channels. Then what you'll do is you'll add in how many payment days there are. So the first one, you'll add in whatever this number is. For Facebook, I know it takes 0 days to get paid. We're doing cash sales on Facebook. And Carrefour, for this company, I think it's very ambitious. Let's see, 120 days to get paid on Carrefour. Let's call it 120. You can put whatever number in. Sometimes greens get paid very quickly. Well, quickly, relatively speaking, in a month, and then I was talking to a company the other day, and it took them 5 months to get paid from supermarkets on average. Pretty brutal. Now, the inventory days, this is going to auto-calculate, and this is the fun thing where, you've gone through your inventory before, and you're trying to, account for all these things. As a CEO, it's a very big pain. But you have one number which can give you clear insight as to where your inventory is at right now. And that is if you divide your inventory, which we added in here before, which is 151,000. Hopefully you can see on my screen, and by the cost of goods sold times 30 days in a month. So we have 5 days of inventory, which means we're running a pretty efficient business. Meaning we only keep 5 days of inventory behind us. So there's not much capital tied up there. You might see for some companies, it might be hundreds of days tied up. All right, now I'll pause there before we get to the really fun part, and this all comes to fruition, and we're gonna get to see these details. Any questions at this point? So Dixon, I think you've only used one sales channel. Did you want to use more than one sales channel?
So I just included what we are currently using, which is majorly social media. So,
Okay.
but we're gonna be testing out different other sales channel. I think in the coming months. I don't know. Maybe we should be able to include it here.
Yeah, I would say you already have 2 sales channels. One is you have door-to-door sales, so your salespeople go around. And then you also have social media. Of course, the sales channels get merged a little bit, and that some originate from social media that go to the salespeople. But
Yeah.
you might want to say, okay, some originate with social media, and those are social media sales, and the other ones originate with salespeople, those are salespeople sales. The other thing you could do is you could say, okay, we want to do depot sales, and we're going to make this a projection. So we're going to say, instead of October this year, let's call this, you can change the date, call it December. And we're going to do social media sales. It's going to be exactly the same as what's October. And now we're going to add in depot sales, which is going to be 20% of sales, let's say. So let's say 2 million shillings a month, right? So you can get a bit creative here.
Okay.
Just something for you to think about. A crafty steaks. Let me just take a look. Anyone have any questions? Mara, Nairobi, you've divided up very nicely. This looks beautiful. You put in your inventory. That looks great. I'm seeing you have 22 days of inventory. That's kind of, are you surprised by that number, Wellington?
Yeah, maybe there's something I need to go back and check because I don't think 22 days of inventory that can't work.
Right, right. Yeah, so is that number of inventory from your accounts? The 400K?
No, I just compared it because I'll have to check the accounts exactly. It could be higher than that.
So that's gross profit. So cost of goods sold. Yeah, so it's looking like based on your cost of goods sold, you have a lot of inventory. So it might be something to consider is why do you have so much inventory or where is it getting stuck? But at a high level, you can see as an entrepreneur, there's something off, right? So it just gives you sort of like a warning light. There's something going on there. What was the other thing that I wanted to comment on here? The other thing I was surprised about was that the gross margin in Nairobi was higher than Mara. Does that make sense for you, or is that unexpected?
Unexpected.
That's unexpected, yeah. Okay, something to look into as to why that might be the case. So you'll see here, you go to the channel comparison. So just change your tab, and we've got Carrefour and Facebook, and now everything is side by side. We see their revenue, their COGS, we see their gross profit, we see the margin. The margin for Facebook's clearly better. The average payment days is faster, 0 versus 120. The inventory days is very small, 5 days. So if we want to be more efficient in our business, reducing inventory days for this business doesn't actually make sense. What actually makes sense is reducing the payment days. So in Wellington's case, it's the opposite. It's the inventory days that are quite high. And the question is, why is that? We see the marketing ROI. And now for the last thing I want you to do is add something qualitative. Like I said, accounting is very strict. It's exact. Finance is a little different. It can be more qualitative. So what we'll do is we'll just write out what's the growth potential for these two different channels. If you don't have two channels, so I know for Nyumbani, you have one channel which you have not explored at all, which is Naivas supermarkets, Carrefour. So you'll just write down the growth potential you see for your social media versus Carrefour. And so it might be bigger. It might be as far as you really want to go on that. The risks on Facebook. I think the risk is that the price of ads keeps going up. That's just inevitable. Social media, it always keeps getting more expensive. The good thing is there's always new social media companies. So ads on Facebook are expensive, but the ones on TikTok are cheap. So that's some potential there. Risk with Carrefour, they could go under, single buyer. And then let's say the relationship with the end customer on Facebook. No, the customer. Don't know. Okay, any questions on? Let me give you, let's say, a minute to fill that out. Hopefully it's clear that the items with the white background are the ones that are meant to be filled out. Yeah, great. Okay, so you've got, looking at your screen, I think you can see it. The margin looks good here. The average inventory days, I think that number makes sense. That seems about right. So you have about 2.5 weeks of inventory. So it's just another way you as a CEO can quickly get a sense of how your business is doing. The marketing ROI, the reason why we do want to separate, the salespeople and the social media, is it looks like your marketing ROI is very high, which I don't think it's I think it's good. I don't think it's this good. And so then you'd want to just separate where these things are sourcing from. But if it is that good, then we really want to know because that's amazing. Okay, any thoughts or questions on that, Dixon?
I think what I need to do is I need to separate those channels where the sales are coming from. I think that will be effective in breaking them down more clearly.
Yep.
Because I mean, at the moment, most of our leads still come, from social media, and then they're passed to the salespeople.
Yeah.
but still, like salespeople also like do generate some leads. I don't know from where, to be able to sell to clients. So I need to break that down into two so that it helps a little bit further.
Yep. Yeah, it's a continuous process. You try to do some analysis, you realize you don't have the data you need. You go back to the CRM, make it very clear where these leads are coming from. Then you can do the analysis better next time. So it's a continuous thing. Wellington, is it okay if I share your channel comparison?
Sure, Kyle.
All right, thanks. All right, channel comparison. So you got this. These are the average payment days, marketing ROI. Is there a challenge typing in these more qualitative things like the growth potential and the relationship quality? I see that for you and Dixon, you didn't type in anything here, so maybe I'm not teaching very well.
Actually, Kyle, I'd gone back to my books to try and track down inventory.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's fair enough.
I'm trying to figure out
that's
on,
good then.
I'm trying to figure out on the profit and loss where somebody gets an inventory figure per month, and I can't track it down. So that's
Okay. Good question. It's not on your profit and loss. It's on
It's
your
the
balance
balance
sheet. It's an
okay.
asset. Yeah. That's a good question. Is it okay if I share your high level report? Screen share
Sure,
that.
sure.
This works good. I'm going to compare with a few previous periods so we can see what the dynamics are here. And inventory is here on the balance sheet. So actually the inventory, total inventory. The inventory actually is negative as of this month, which then will basically there's a challenge with accounting for sales that are going out, which is a known issue. So obviously your inventory cannot be negative. So the next thing to do in order to know the inventory days would be get your inventory so it's not negative anymore. This means
Okay.
something has been sold which has not been put into inventory.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, now you know where to find it. It's here on the balance sheet. Okay. Anyone else have a question?
No, but
Or insight?
that is the current info. If I wanted to look at inventory for the previous month, because I'm using
Yeah. So the
figures.
inventory so looking at inventory for the previous month of October, it's coming to a negative number here.
Oh, it's also coming to a negative number. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming to a negative number. The last one was positive, was in August. So somehow inventory is not being added to the system.
Or it could be opening balances, previous opening balances. Okay, that's an internal issue. It's okay.
It could be opening balances. The challenge is it can't really be opening balances because you can see it's negative 161 and it got even more negative. Opening balances could be part of the problem, but it's also definitely that inventory is not being entered in when it arrives, right? Because we would see it would never go below negative 161 if it was just opening balance problem. Does that make sense? Okay. Did you pick anything new today or was I too fast?
I think it was just a little bit fast for me, but I guess
yeah.
we'll go back
Okay.
and pull it up. Yeah.
We'll work on improving that. Thank you for that. I see Levi as well. Levi, you still there?
Yes, still here, Kyle.
Okay, great. I see you weren't able to create a template, but is there anything you picked from today or any new insight you got?
How you compare, like on the template, it was quite simple. So I think just having the numbers side by side like that can help bring in some fresh insights. So I just saw that and thought of how we can implement it even simpler for usual operations. So yeah.
Great. Thank you all for joining. And yes, this is how we think about different sales channels and which one is making you money and which one's losing money. So